His children, 6 children, are in the courtroom at this point listening to all of this. And the jury was picked knowing that they needed a certain level of comfort to hear these types of descriptions. It was very emotional and really tough to hear, bro.
Is there any message for the alleged victims? Do you apologize on behalf of your father? Do you believe your father's innocent? Do you still convince your father's innocent? Do you apologize on behalf of your father?
For the first time since allegations surfaced, the 3 Combs sisters appear to show solidarity with their father. Yet within an hour, they stand abruptly, embrace each other tightly, and exit the courtroom in tears. What could have possibly appeared on that screen that even his own daughters couldn't bear to witness?
That video is arguably the most important piece of evidence because it sets the stage when we're talking about coercion or force.
We need you to step to the side. Step to the side, please.
Yes, give us a little space. Give us a little space. Give us a little space.
In the Manhattan federal courthouse. Before the trial commenced, prosecutors presented previously undisclosed footage allegedly capturing moments from a controversial private gathering, footage that potentially holds the key to the entire case. According to prosecutors, this evidence unveils a complex web of accusations and family secrets. As the tape is officially entered into evidence, a palpable heaviness settles over the Combs family. Their expressions suggest they're about to face something from which there's no return. Minutes into the video, Delilah frantically covers her twin sister Jessie's eyes. Chance and Justin, however, remain transfixed on the screen where a disturbingly familiar figure appears. Could it be Kim Porter?
On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake.
Whispers ripple through the stunned courtroom like shockwaves. Without exchanging a word, all 3 daughters rise and flee. The question hangs heavy in their wake. What horrifying revelation drove them from their first show of support?
Manhattan's leaden sky, a bustling crowd converged on the federal courthouse where the trial of Sean Diddy Combs entered what seemed like just another day. Outside, reporters jostled for position, cameras flashed incessantly, and protest signs rose high, bearing the words "Justice for the victims." Murmurs of speculation rippled through the throng, from curious onlookers to legal analysts, all sensing the weighty atmosphere before a trial promising high drama. Inside, the courtroom was packed, not a single seat vacant. Sketch artists' pens raced across paper, cameras clicked rhythmically, and the jury's gazes were steely, poised to dissect every detail. The air in that oak-paneled room felt compressed, each breath seeming to fight for existence.
The unexpected presence of the Combs family drew all eyes. For the first time since the scandal broke, the family's reserved seats were no longer vacant. Chance, Delilah, and Jessie, Diddy's 3 daughters, sat prominently in the front row, joined by Justin Bieber Combs, the defendant's son. They were impeccably dressed, their simple yet elegant attire radiating an unanticipated maturity. The girls' faces were stoic, their eyes seemingly concealing a web of intricate emotions. When the media inquired about their attendance, Chance responded with a calm but resolute voice, "We're here to support our father." Yet in their gazes, something felt unfinished, a subtle void, as if they were steeling themselves for something far weightier than their words could express.
Prosecutor Rachel Harper rises from her table, silver hair neatly secured, thin-framed glasses perched precisely. Her deliberate voice commands attention like drum beats announcing a momentous event. Please describe to the court what has been referred to as these private gatherings and your role in them, she asks. The courtroom collectively holds its breath. The witness draws a deep breath, eyes sweeping the room before briefly settling on her current partner, whose steady gaze anchors her. She presses her lips together and begins speaking, her voice low but resolute, each word carefully measured.
I met Sean in 2005. I was 19, just signed to Bad Boy Records. He was a powerful man, an icon in the music industry. He promised to take me to the top, to make me a star. But what I got wasn't stardom, it was a trap.
She pauses, her gaze traveling across the jury to ensure they grasp the gravity of her revelation. About a year into our relationship, he introduced me to what he called these private gatherings. He framed them as boundary exploration. But for me, they were nightmares I couldn't escape.
What is a freak-off? The freak-off essentially was something that Cassie said she learned about through Sean Combs about a year into their relationship. He described it as voyeurism.
She describes these events as meticulously orchestrated gatherings where he maintained absolute control. He enjoyed watching me with others, she explains, voice quivering as traumatic memories surface. But it wasn't merely observation, he dictated everything. My attire, the lighting, the specific activities, even how much product we applied so our bodies would glisten to his satisfaction. She details how he required her to purchase specific outfits from specialty stores, personally selecting what she would wear. I had no voice, she states firmly, eyes locked on the jury. If I refused, he threatened me, leaving me trapped with no exit.
It depends on where the relationship goes. If it's something that you didn't want to share and it's your secret, it's your secret. I do believe in karma if you're hurting people.
According to her testimony, these gatherings weren't brief encounters, but marathon sessions lasting 36 to 72 hours. One event stretched to 4 days, she reveals, voice trembling as she describes the exhaustion endured. They occurred weekly, becoming a mandatory fixture in my life. She recounts her coerced role in organizing these events, eyes lowering in apparent shame. I recruited people through online platforms or professional services. I arranged their travel to various cities: Miami, the Caribbean, New York, Louisiana, Las Vegas. I worked alongside his team, pretending to be talent scouts, but it was all orchestrated according to his blueprint. She explains his control extended beyond participants to the environments themselves. Initially, he used candles to create false intimacy. Later, he upgraded to professional lighting, as if directing a production where he was the sole authority. She describes how he choreographed every detail, from participants' movements to specific activities he wanted to witness. He even mandated substance use to enhance comfort, she says, voice breaking. Before one gathering, I texted asking which pill to take from his supply, and he specified exactly which one.
Now, with each moment, the testimony became more and more graphic. Her delivery, though, it never changed. It was matter of fact.
The trial reaches its climax when her attorney, Samantha Klein, a woman with neatly tied brown hair and penetrating gaze, rises to request video playback. Your Honor, Klein announces with ringing clarity, we request permission to present evidence from 2018, labeled as the White Party Archive. The courtroom freezes, all eyes fixed on the large screen as it flickers to life. The first images reveal a lavish seaside mansion, palm trees swaying, neon lights pulsing, figures moving amid thumping electronic music blended with laughter. The video captures what were known as his exclusive white parties, gatherings where celebrities, entrepreneurs, and models converged in luxurious celebration. But what unfolds isn't glamour, but the dark underbelly of these events. Familiar faces appear, a businessman in white, a platinum-haired pop star, a model in shimmering attire, engaged in compromising activities, from substance use to behavior, crossing ethical boundaries. The witness continues describing her involvement from the stand. I wasn't merely a participant, she states, her gaze steady despite pain flashing across her features. I was forced to manage everything: recruitment, logistics, ensuring people arrived at designated locations. I operated under his direction. Against my will, fearing he would release compromising footage if I refused. She reveals that he routinely recorded these gatherings, archiving them as leverage. He called those recordings his insurance, she explains, trembling. If I disobeyed, he threatened to make them public, destroying my reputation and career. The courtroom atmosphere shifts dramatically when the video transitions to a new scene. On screen appears a woman seated on a couch, her eyes vacant, seemingly unaware she's being filmed. Her identity is unmistakable: Kim Porter, mother to several of his children. Chance covers her mouth, trembling hands betraying her shock. Delilah and Jesse, the twins who'd maintained composed facades, sit motionless, faces drained of color. Delilah grips Jesse's hand fiercely, nails digging into her palm as if anchoring her against collapse. Their eyes dart toward their father in a mixture of panic, anguish, and unfathomable betrayal before locking onto their mother's image. Kim Porter's hollow gaze and disoriented demeanor isn't merely a moment in the video. It's a silent indictment exposing the depths of manipulation at play. Once known for strength and independence, she appears nearly unconscious, as if pulled into a world where she doesn't belong. Her presence raises disturbing questions about her involvement and stirs darker suspicions that hang unspoken in the stunned courtroom. Was Kim's death, officially attributed to pneumonia in 2018, truly an accident? Or was it the result of an intervention to silence her from exposing deeply guarded secrets?
They might got into a little spat, a little fight, something went down, and Puff did that play fighting stuff that he always do, and that pillow fighting stuff, and probably smothered her.
Have a good evening, guys.
Diddy, no longer able to maintain composure, he slammed the table and stood up, his chair tipping backward with a piercing screech. "Stop the video now!" he shouted, eyes blazing red. "My children are here! You can't do this!" But his outburst was drowned out by Jessie's stifled sobs, soft yet sharp, slicing through the air like a knife. Chance, her eyes bloodshot, sprang to her feet, pulling her trembling twin sisters and rushing them out of the courtroom. The sound of Delilah and Jessie's cries echoed from the hallway, a haunting lament that shook everyone present. A juror bowed their head, hand covering mouth, eyes brimming with emotion. A reporter in the back row shook their head, whispering to a colleague, "This isn't just a trial, it's a tragedy." In the cold courthouse hallway, Delilah clung tightly to Jessie, trying desperately to soothe the raw pain that had just erupted. The image of their mother on screen, her vacant, unfamiliar gaze, had pierced their hearts, shattering warm memories of Kim Porter, the woman who had always sheltered and loved them. Delilah recalled evenings when their mother sang lullabies, her gentle voice a comfort amidst life's storms. Jessie, tears welling in her eyes, could only whisper, "Why was Mom there?" Her question hung in the air unanswered, met only by anguish and growing suspicion about the father they once idolized. Neither could bear the possibility that their father, who had always professed to love them above all else, might have drawn their mother into a dark world and perhaps even played a role in her death.
We are about to play the freak off videos, and guess who's sitting front row? Diddy's sons are in the courtroom this morning.
His attorney, Victor Langston, a towering man with salt and pepper hair and a voice like rolling thunder, rose to counter. "Miss Ventura," he began, probing gaze fixed on her. "You've described these events as if you were a victim with no agency whatsoever. But let's consider the context. You signed a 10-album deal with Bad Boy Entertainment, lived in luxury apartments, traveled the world, and attended extravagant gatherings. Is it possible you willingly participated in these gatherings to secure your place in Mr. Combs' world?" His question struck like an arrow, causing her to falter momentarily. She took a deep breath, her eyes briefly meeting Alex's, drawing strength from his presence. "No," she replied, her voice sharpening, gaze resolute. "I didn't choose. I was coerced. What I received wasn't a reward, it was the price I paid to survive. He controlled everything, my career, my friends, even my thoughts. I had no choice but to follow his demands, because if I didn't, I would lose everything." Her words rang out in the courtroom like a declaration, prompting a few jurors to nod subtly, their eyes reflecting empathy. Langston pressed on, his tone lowering as if trying to lure her into a trap. "Miss Ventura, did you ever collaborate with others, such as Miss Kim Porter, to carry out these gatherings at Mr. Combs' behest? Were you and Miss Porter willing participants, enjoying the lifestyle Mr. Combs provided?" The question sent a shiver through the courtroom. The mention of Kim Porter, the late mother of Delilah and Jessie, cut like a razor, reopening the raw pain the family was struggling to conceal. She shook her head, a flash of anguish in her eyes. "No," she said, voice trembling yet firm. "Kim was trapped, just like me. We weren't complicit. We were victims of the same system. He made us feel like there was no way out, as if everything we had, our careers, our families, our reputations, depended on pleasing him." Her words struck like a blade. Though he remained seated, his unease was palpable. A finger tapped restlessly on the table, his eyes flickering toward the empty seats where his daughters had been, as if searching for a shred of solace in their absence. The emergence of the video featuring Kim Porter, coupled with the damning testimony, wasn't merely a blow to his reputation. It was a dagger plunged into his deepest vulnerability, his love for his children. Chance, Delilah, and Jessie, the daughters he always proclaimed as the heart of his existence, were forced to witness their mother in a hollow, lifeless state, as if she were a casualty of the world their father had crafted. The girls' anguish, expressed through their sobs and frantic exodus from the courtroom, underscored the video's devastating impact. Their presence at the trial precisely when the video was unveiled sparked public suspicion. Why did Kim Porter's children appear at such a sensitive moment? The coincidence fueled speculation of a deliberate intent to target his Achilles heel, his devotion to his daughters. While Delilah and Jessie fled in tears, Chance and Justin remained composed, their cold gazes fixed on him rather than following their sisters. This behavior left many wondering, do they truly believe in their father, or does their stoic demeanor conceal profound doubt, a readiness to confront the truth? For years, the media has portrayed the family as a symbol of unity, especially after Kim Porter's death. Yet when Chance and Justin appeared at the trial, their presence wasn't mere support, but a veil for hidden motives, hinting at a silent power struggle within the family. The quiet gazes of Chance and Justin, untouched by Kim Porter's bloodline, harbored what? Loyalty or a cunning scheme? Chance, his daughter with Sarah Chapman, grew up on the edge of pain. Not a child of Kim, she drifted in isolation, bereft of warm maternal memories. When Kim passed in 2018, her children clung to cherished moments, while Chance faced only a chilling loneliness. Images of him doting on Kim's children in the media stirred in Chance a nameless ache, casting her as a shadow in the family's tender moments. Justin, his eldest son with Misa Halton, bore a steely resolve unbowed by sorrow. He forged himself into a sharp, cold strategist, viewing the family as a chessboard of power. Justin mastered his father's game, navigating brutal trials and scandals. Hushed to shield the family name, beneath his polished facade, those scars shaped him into a master player, ever poised to upend the board. Unlike Chance, Justin did not succumb to pain, but honed his edge, observing the family's unspoken rules. From youth, he saw Kim's children bask in a mother's love he never knew. Yet rather than envy, he learned to read his father, a man who both cherished and challenged his children, especially Justin, through fierce rivalries and cryptic tasks. Rumored scandals Justin faced were silenced by his father to protect their legacy. Those hidden wounds transformed Justin into a cunning strategist, always awaiting the moment to reshape the game. The presence of Chance, Delilah, and Jessie at the trial was no mere coincidence. Word had leaked that he had strictly forbidden any family members from attending, a calculated move to safeguard his public image and shield his children from painful revelations. Yet, when the three daughters took their places in the front row alongside Justin and Janice, their arrival stunned onlookers. What drove Kim Porter's children, ever obedient to their father, to defy his command and appear precisely on the day? A damning video was unveiled. Suspicions swirled that Justin and Chance, each carrying their own scars and ambitions, had quietly orchestrated a plan to confront him, their true motives shrouded in mystery. Justin, with his sharp intuition, had long recognized Chance's vulnerability. He saw in his sensitive sister, haunted by a sense of abandonment, the key to sparking a rebellion. In the months leading up to the trial, Justin approached Chance not as a comforting brother, but as a sower of doubt. "Have you ever wondered who Dad really is?" he asked in a private conversation, his voice low yet piercing. He shared stories Chance had never heard, of controversial white parties, of manipulation of those around him, and of Kim Porter, the mother they idolized, who may have been ensnared in circumstances beyond her control. His words stirred the buried pain and injustice Chance had suppressed for years, prompting her to question the father she revered. Though hesitant, Chance couldn't resist Justin's revelations. She reached out to Delilah and Jessie, sisters she'd always felt distant from. In late-night calls, her voice trembling, she urged, "We need to be there for Dad, but also to understand what really happened." Without mentioning the video or Justin's disclosures, her earnestness persuaded her sisters. Delilah and Jessie, despite their reluctance, agreed to attend, believing their presence would support their father. Unbeknownst to them, Chance, guided by Justin, had unwittingly become part of a larger scheme, though Justin's true aim, vengeance, power, or truth, remained an enigma. Behind the curtain, Justin's machinations went beyond persuading Chance. Whispers emerged that he orchestrated the delivery of the 2018 White Party archive video to her lawyer, Samantha Klein. The footage, capturing Kim Porter in a vulnerable state at a white party, was no random find. Confidential sources suggest Justin tapped his network of allies to funnel the video, ensuring it became pivotal evidence. Yet he moved with caution, fully aware of his father's loyal inner circle ready to shield him at all costs. To safeguard her and her husband, Alex Fine, Justin allegedly arranged discreet security, though this remains speculative. She's the only one who can speak the truth. He texted a friend via an encrypted app, his tone icy yet resolute. If rumors hold true, as the trial unfolded, tension gripped the room. She took the stand, recounting years under his control, threats, and abuse that trapped her in fear. "He wanted me to be his entirely," she said, her voice low but sharp, riveting the jury. Chance, Delilah, and Jesse sat in the front row, each wrestling with private turmoil. Chance masked her unease, torn between loyalty to her father and the truth Justin revealed. Delilah and Jesse, unaware, gazed at their father with love, only to recoil in panic as the video played. When the White Party archive was unveiled, the screen revealed a seaside mansion, neon lights flickering and chaotic figures, including Kim Porter, the mother who raised them. Delilah and Jesse, frozen in shock, fled sobbing, their cries echoing like a blade through the hall. He leapt up, roaring to stop the video, his eyes blazing. But they lingered on Chance and Justin, sensing their foreknowledge. Chance, her face steely, met her father's gaze, her unflinching eyes demanding answers. Justin, arms crossed, his stare cold, stood unmoved by his father's rage. Within him, a chilling satisfaction bloomed as his father's empire teetered under the weight of exposed secrets. Yet deep in his soul, a pang lingered where a faint love for the father he once idolized still flickered, tearing him between justice and the agony of betraying blood. On social media, the public buzzed with speculation. Kim Porter truth and Diddy secrets trended, lauding her courage. She shattered the silence, one post read, praising her resolve. But Kim Porter's video sparked questions. Why did Chance and Justin, not Kim's children, ensure their sister's presence? Some speculated that Justin exploited Chance's emotional wounds to exact revenge. Justin craves power, Chance seeks truth, one comment asserted. The trial transcends a mere legal battle. It serves as a stark warning about power, manipulation, and secrets lurking beneath entertainment world glamour. Her testimony, bolstered by the video, laid bare a realm where he reigned supreme, turning figures like her and Kim Porter into instruments of his ambition. The meticulously staged gatherings, with their suffocating atmosphere, were more than parties. They were emblems of his absolute control over those in his orbit. The emergence of Kim Porter's image in the video forced his daughters to confront a harrowing truth. The father they once idolized may have drawn their mother into a stark underworld. The anguished cries of Delilah and Jesse as they fled the courtroom bore witness to wounds inflicted by these revelations. Meanwhile, the stoic composure of Chance and Justin sparked questions. Do they truly believe in their father, or are they concealing private agendas? As the trial presses on, the public awaits answers to deeper questions. Were these gatherings merely facets of a lavish lifestyle or evidence of a meticulously organized criminal network? More crucially, was Kim Porter's death truly an accident or a secret he sought to bury? These lingering uncertainties cast a long shadow, challenging the world to unravel the truth behind the man once celebrated as a cultural icon.